Lesson 3, adding value. Anyone can come up with an idea, but the idea doesn't have any value unless your customer or your end user finds value in it. What do I mean? Well, does the idea add value? Does it work? Does it make something more pleasant, easier? Does it create energy in a person's life, i.e., income? Or does it make something take place faster? Who is your idea for? How much value does it create? In other words, is it even worth you pursuing it? How much is it going to move the needle in the life of your end user or customer? What is it worth? Again, I've seen so many people come up with very, very, very large ideas, and it's only going to move the needle like a very comical amount compared to what's already available, in contrast to the capital outlay that it would take to deploy this idea. So just keep that in mind. Netflix, again, very simple idea. Why? Because they went from physically delivering disc through the mail, which was also a great idea, but it was an arduous process. Sure, it made things easier for the customer, but I mean, they had physical fulfillment. You had disc being lost, disc stolen, discs damaged. Oh, and here's my favorite. You sign up and you're on this wait list to see your favorite movies, and supposedly you can rent unlimited movies for the month. But because there's only so many physical copies available of your favorite title, you may not get to see it, or at least on the weekend or the weekday that you want. So Netflix had to think, hey, why don't we make this available through the internet, and we can cut out all of these superfluous activities that we have taking place. It's taking away from the top and then the bottom line. Uber comes on the scene and says, hey, you know what? We know taxis have been around forever, but perhaps there's a better way of doing things after facing their own frustrations and attempting to get a ride, probably at, some inconvenient hour. And we know how taxis can be even during, the top of the day. So Uber thought, hey, well, why not make this convenient in which people may request a ride at their leisure on an app, and we can send someone out to pick them up. And so Uber to this day is doing millions and millions of rides around the world. In 2022 alone, they have completed 7.6 billion rides. So never let anyone tell you something is not possible. And this goes for myself. When the idea of Uber was introduced, I said, that's insane. Who is going to get in a ride with, or get in a vehicle with a stranger? Because, again, my mind was still stuck on the old taxi model. However, what I never really considered was, well, those guys are strangers too. It's just so we are very used to seeing taxis. And now, you have parents stuffing their children into, rides with strangers, and people take dates and jump in the car, and it's a very, very common thing to do. So if you're on a date and the date stays late, she may say, hey, could you order me an Uber or something of that nature? It's common. Amazon again is another company that has changed the way in which we think. Their ability to briskly deliver almost anything from medicine to toys to food, and not just that. They also have AWS, the web services, and there's like, I don't know, looks like 60 to 80 different platforms built within that umbrella. So Amazon is absolutely crushing it. It didn't happen overnight, but again, this is an individual who had a vision and created an entirely different world, a world in which we now all observe, if not participate in. Amazing. So Netflix, Uber, and Amazon, again, are all examples of what could be, but you got to start simple. And that's why they were able to become some of the largest employers in the world, because they added value. And again, you can start simple, create something that adds value, and the more value that you can add, or the more people that find value in your company or whatever it is that you have to offer, then Usually, there's a form of reciprocity, and meaning in which you'll see the reciprocal on your end, i.e., growth, if there's quality. All right, so adding value either creates a new solution or replaces an existing solution, which enhances the customer experience. Value is not only delivered through the provision of products, services, or information, but how well it is delivered. Again, you can take something that's been existing forever and just do it better. Look at Chick-fil-A. Look at Raising Cane's. Look at the quality of the service that they give. Bok, bitty, bok, bok, bok. Raising Cane's, what can I offer you? And I find it comical, but they say it with the same amount of energy every single time. Now, sometimes it's a recording, but then sometimes I get the live person. I said, oh, wow, that's the same girl who actually said it in the window. And it's the same energy every single time. The food is hot, it melts the box. The toast is fresh. When it's crisp, it's crispy because it's well prepared, not old or something that has sat out all day or in some cases all week. Raising Cane's is amazing. Chick-fil-A, my pleasure, thank you. Of course, sir. Yes, ma'am. That goes a long way. Every time we go to Chick-fil-A, the line is wrapping around the door or around the building. Why? Because the food is good. People are bringing soccer teams. They're happy to land their after-school specials or socials there because they know what to expect. So even if they have to wait for 30 minutes in line, they're not waiting for 30 minutes due to incompetency. They're waiting for 30 minutes because that many people are satisfied with the product that it takes 30 minutes to serve all of them. And it's not because the line is moving slow. Whereas there's another chicken place that I have in mind, and they would probably hands down be amongst the best chicken establishments in the world. This company formerly had a cartoon character that consumed loads of spinach for big muscles. You get the idea. And again, their food is amazing when prepared correctly and when you receive it. However, the service, it could use some improvement. The attitude of the workers, and this is not at every location, but what I am saying is sometimes you can have a good thing, but you don't put forth your best face. Don't cut corners in terms of quality or service or craftsmanship or the workers that you employ because you think you're going to save a buck or make more money. People will pay extra for high quality service, especially if the product is good. This particular establishment has long wait times, not because everyone is showing up for superb service. They have long wait times, usually due to inconsistencies, maybe a bit of incompetence, and poor attitudes at the drive-through window, which all reflect in the service that you get, So if I make a request and I say, hey, I want chicken, and for whatever reason they don't have any, okay, well, fine, I'll wait. Okay, well, sir, it'll be, 35 or 45 minutes, however long. And then I wait, and the chicken is cold when it's presented to me, or not in the bag, or not the correct order, or should I say, I don't have all of the chicken, so I don't have the right amount of pieces, or I requested white meat, paid extra, and for whatever reason, I get all thighs. You get the idea. It bites, pun intended. This place, again, would be an absolute knockout, 110%, if they would just simply improve on the service.